Jesus and his disciples pass a man born blind. The disciples immediately seek to categorize his suffering, asking, "Teacher, whose sin caused him to be born blind? Was it his own or his parents?" They were leaning on a rigid theological framework. In this system, every physical ailment had a one-to-one correlation with a moral failure. If you were blind, you were carrying the weight of a specific identifiable sin. Jesus breaks this logic. He tells them neither the man nor his parents sin to cause this. Instead, his blindness exists so that God's power can be displayed in his life. This reframes the man's pain. It is no longer a debt to be paid. It is an active opportunity for divine intervention. Jesus kneels, spits into the dust, and mixes mud. He takes that wet earth and rubs it directly over the man's eyes. He gives the man a command: "Go wash in the pool of Siloam." The man walks away, sightless, and guided only by the instruction. He reaches the water and washes the mud away. For the very first time in his life, sudden light, sharp shapes, and vibrant colors flood into his world. He returns to his community with perfect vision. But while his physical world is filled with light, the religious hierarchy he is about to face remains fixed in a shadow of its own making. The Pharisees focus entirely on the fact that the healing occurred on the Sabbath. By mixing mud and restoring sight, Jesus has violated their code of rest. To them, the miracle is a crime. The authorities begin cross-examining the neighbors, searching for a logical error, or a way to prove the man was never actually blind to begin with. When the neighbors can't provide a loophole, the Pharisees summon the man's parents. Fear governs the conversation. The parents know their son was healed, but the threat of expulsion from the synagogue keeps them silent. They deflect, telling the leaders to ask the man himself. The system has reached a point where the preservation of a rule matters more than the restoration of a person. During the second round of questioning, the two parties follow opposite trajectories. The beggar becomes increasingly clear. God does not listen to sinners, yet this man performed a miracle. Unable to answer the logic, the scholars resort to insults, unable to reconcile the evidence. The man ignores their maze of technicalities and offers a final, undeniable truth: "I was blind, and now I see." The authorities throw him out. Their system cannot tolerate a fact it cannot categorize or control. Jesus hears that the man has been expelled and goes to find him. Outside the walls of the synagogue and away from the legal experts, Jesus validates the man's faith. The man recognizes Jesus as the Son of Man and kneels to worship him. At this moment, his transformation is finished. He has both physical sight and spiritual recognition. Jesus declares that he has come into the world to act as a judge. His presence gives sight to those who are blind and reveals the blindness of those who claim they can see. This is the paradox at the heart of the story. The light illuminates the path for those who admit they are lost, but it blinds those who believe they are already standing in the sun. The downfall of the Pharisees was their certainty. They believed they already possessed the whole truth, making it impossible for them to receive anything new. Spiritual vision begins with the humility of admitting you are in the dark. Without that admission, the light has nowhere to go. The truly blind characters in this account were not those with physical disabilities, but those within the immovable institutions. They stood in the presence of a miracle and saw only a broken rule. The tragedy of the human condition is not being born in the dark. It is standing in the light, closing your eyes, and declaring, "We see."